We're live.
We are?
We are.
Oh, hello. I don't know how YouTube works.
Happy Saturday afternoon.
Yes.
It is Saturday afternoon.
What day was it? It was yesterday. No, it's Thursday. I said something that alluded to the fact that we thought it was Friday, and you went right with me. You were like, "Oh yeah, darn."
Yeah.
It was not.
It was not Friday yesterday.
So.
No, that was on Thursday though. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So it's on this week's all messed up. Anyway, we are here today to share an update with how our last month and a half has gone with our focus in on
one thing.
Food management.
Yep.
And I want to start out by saying we've done so good at this focusing in on one thing that we still have Easter decorations up. It's not even bothering me because it's not our one thing right now. And in addition to that, we also have a lot of stuff that needs to be dealt with over in the West Wing where
we have days
my
until
parents are coming back.
Yes.
And I'm just like, it's not on my radar yet until it has to be, and
they're gonna be pulling the driveway.
That's okay.
Oh my goodness.
Mom, Dad, guess what you get to help do?
Yeah, no kidding. So back in early April, we mentioned that we were going to be focusing on one thing as a family, and it was going to be food management. We have an awesome update to show you how we've progressed, some of the issues we come up with, some of the wins we've had, which are phenomenal, and well, anything else that comes up. So hopefully this isn't over 3 hours, and if it is, I'm sorry.
It's not going to be over 3 hours. Our goal is to keep it under 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But for anyone who is watching, while we are kind of sharing, we would also love to hear from you what you are working on with your food management. And that kind of includes your grocery shopping strategy, your food supply that you're building up, your food management in general, and just share ways that you are working on improving that.
Yep.
So
always improving.
Yes, always improving
something.
So one of the things that we've talked, like we've mentioned that we wanted to focus on one thing, and as we were kind of working towards this goal that we had in mind, we ran into two roadblocks, and we decided to do something about them in a minimal way so that we could move forward better.
Right. We had, I think what you call them were productive sidetracks.
Yes. That's exactly what they were, because it wasn't like a distraction. And that's what we kind of had to look out for.
Yes.
Because there were lots of distractions.
What do we call those? Shiny objects.
Yes.
A million shiny objects.
There were a lot of.
There was also one hiccup of an emergency with taking Breslin to the ER.
Yeah, that was not fun. Well, and
it wasn't fun, but
she did awesome.
She was fun. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
She's special.
The best.
Did you check audio? Can people hear us? I don't even know. I want to make sure.
I'm assuming people can hear us.
Check. If there's any issues with audio or anything, if you could comment and let us know, that would be great. I don't know why I just thought about that, but I did. So,
So sidetrack number one was dealing with the disaster of our food storage. So rather than getting sidetracked and diving deep into that, because that is number 3 on our list. We're doing food management and then meal planning and then food and kitchen organization and then meal prep. That's kind of like how we've segmented food in our home, is those 4 different categories, and we're going to tackle one at a time. And the goal is that tackling one at a time, we're able to really do this well, and then this one's going to be easier, and then even easier.
Because the ball of momentum and effort are all working together and moving forward.
Yes. So with that, we took that. It was about a day. We were hoping to do it in 2 hours. And then there were a few other things.
It turned into like a day and a half.
Took a little bit longer.
But it was an unbelievable transformation because that storage room we can now actually utilize to its almost full potential.
So I think it's probably at about 60% of what I want it to be. But 60% is way like it's functional, because I guess I would have put it at about 30. And so getting it over that 50%, I think, was huge in enabling us to move forward with everything else. So now when we go to take a grocery inventory, we can actually see what's down there.
After this live, I'm going to go write down all of the low expectations that I have. I need to obviously increase them if I think that that's at 80% and you're at 60.
Yeah, that's a recurring thing in our home, though.
Okay, so distraction 1 was the storage room.
Yes.
And then distraction 2 was figuring out what on earth we were going to eat for dinner. And you had this brilliant idea to come up with a default menu that we
meal
can,
plan.
or meal plan. Yeah, excuse me. So we were able to just pull from that, stick it on the board, and say, kids were like, "What's for lunch?" Check the board.
And it's just the same thing that we just repeat on a weekly basis.
We've had called multiple audibles, but
well, I hate eating the same thing over and over and over again. And so I'm personally really like turned off to that idea. But it's not necessarily something that you have to follow strictly. It's more like it's your fallback plan.
When you don't.
So that if you don't plan something else, you just go to that. And so it makes it really easy to know that you have everything on hand to make all of those meals. And
they're easy.
You don't have to think about it. We don't have to have an hour-long conversation about what we're going to have.
I did get some pushback from the kids a little bit on, I don't want oatmeal. Well, then you just don't have to eat breakfast.
Pretty much.
So.
Yes.
Cool. What was another win that you had? This one's totally like a, I don't know.
So yes, this is a me thing. So since we have kind of, those were our sidetracks. So let's talk about our wins. I think we've got 5.
Couple. Yeah.
5 wins that we've kind of figured that we've accomplished in this last month and a half. Number 1 is I have the peace of mind when I order groceries, especially like the big Azure grocery orders or our monthly Costco orders, or even just our weekly orders. I know that we're buying what we need, that we are going to use what I buy, and I know what we have. And so I don't need to worry about, like, I'm not worried about running out of things or any of that. And so just the peace of mind that it's easy, like it feels so much easier. A few months ago, when I was placing grocery orders, I just remember feeling kind of anxious about it. And it wasn't necessarily that, I don't know. I didn't feel like I had a good handle on things. And so I felt like I was being flippant or like anxious in what we were buying.
Your favorite word. Flippant.
I don't like being flippant at all. I like to be intentional. And so this, like, having a good idea of what we have and what we need has made such a difference in helping make sure that I feel like I'm being intentional with our purchases.
Awesome.
And I don't want to go too far into it. Like, I'm going to end up like giving away some of the other ones. So I'm going to just leave it at that.
For me, this was my big win, was wasting less food. Man, oh man. I kept finding myself not using what we had or having too much of something. And then it's just literally money down the drain. And Christy brought it to my attention in a very loving way, like she usually does whenever I'm doing something that's costing our family resources, because I'm excellent at that. And utilizing the inventory and our default meal plan, that eliminated so much. That was good.
Yeah. So another one of our wins is going to be the fact that I have done less grocery shopping.
Holy moly.
Like, I'm going to say in the last few weeks, because like I can't say just for the month of April, because we kind of have gone through this process. And I would say in the last few weeks, I've done less grocery shopping than what I ever have.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's so nice. Just
so the amount of time that I have saved in that process is huge.
It's not just that, but it's also running the finances and inputting expenses and filing all of that other stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's just so compounding.
It's like it's the taking an inventory if you bother doing that. It's the making the list. It's the figuring out what goes on the list. It's the either going to the grocery store or sitting down to like place that order. It's the getting the groceries. It's the doing a grocery haul video. It's the putting the groceries away. And being able to do that less it's very compounding. I'm gonna bring this over here.
Nice.
What do you think?
I like it because then you can just leave that right there so we can see that. Nice.
Much better.
I can see my left eyeball.
Okay. My stomach just made a real crazy noise.
Okay, moving on.
I hope that didn't show up. Or maybe
if something starts moving over there, we'll be right back. Okay, so you said less grocery shopping and utilizing, and then we also said how.
So okay, so I want to make sure that I cover all of this. So previously we were doing like weekly grocery shopping. I was looking at some of our haul videos from the fall, and I was doing like a weekly giant Costco haul. And that was ridiculous.
It was exhausting. I felt like, man, did we just do this?
Because
I got stuff I'm still putting away.
Because we did. And so we've moved to more like, we do monthly shopping from Azure, monthly shopping from Costco. And we were doing like those two and then weekly from 2 stores.
Mm-hmm.
And I've kind of moved away from that even to where it's more like the Azure order, the Costco order. And now we're at kind of at more of like a bi-weekly from either Whole Foods or Vitamin Cottage and then Costco produce.
Say bi-weekly in the reference of not twice a week, but twice a month.
Yes. Like every 2
bi-weekly,
every other week.
Yeah. So we have a couple comments.
Semi-weekly would be twice a month. Hold on, let me finish this.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
So the really exciting part that I'm looking forward to is that we were looking at, this gives us the ability to look at what we are doing with some perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And we were able to look at, number one, we were spending a lot on berries.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of came to the conclusion that we do not need to have fresh berries every week.
Every week.
And so moving to every other week.
What I found, I don't mean to interrupt you, I'm sorry, but what I found is that I believe that there's something special. It's not like lettuce.
They're so good for you though.
They're so good for you, but I also found the kids being a little bit less grateful for them.
Okay.
Like they would stick their fingers inside the raspberries and be like, or I'd find a lot of blueberries on the floor. Great parenting. Yes. We'll get into that. Yeah. But I love, because then now it's, yay, we're having berries and I want to eat every single one.
So that's one of the things that's kind of allowed us to move to the more of a bi-weekly with the produce. But the other part is that we were looking at it and we're like, the one thing that's really hard to keep for 2 weeks, which actually has been keeping for 2 weeks, is lettuce. And we go through a lot of lettuce. And with our lettuce process, we can make it stretch about 2 weeks. But
day 12.
But we have our garden going and we're a few weeks out from being able to harvest some of that lettuce.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking that as soon as we get to that point of where we are growing our own lettuce, hopefully eventually year round, that I can probably do monthly grocery shopping.
Yeah.
And we will be good.
I'm just trying to figure out how I can eat blueberries on a more regular basis with my breakfast because I miss my blueberry bacon combo.
Frozen.
Mm-mm.
Okay, do you want to, let's go to the comments first and then we'll talk about how I guess, wait, let me make sure that we talked about.
We didn't do any freezing conversation.
Okay.
So someone suggested freezing our peppers, and that worked really well. Haven't eaten them yet, but we just went through our last big.
We got a 25-pound box of peppers from Azure,
and
they lasted 3 weeks.
It was 2.5 solid weeks.
Yeah.
That last few days, a couple of them were getting a little questionable. So we were able to utilize a combination of prepping them, allowing the kids to eat a few of them free feed, and then freeze, I don't know, a third of them maybe 20%.
Yeah.
So
this week is going to be the whole actually testing that out and eating the frozen peppers.
Yep.
For only a few days, because our Azure order comes in on Wednesday.
Nice.
So.
And then being okay with not having every week. We just talked about that.
Yes. And also just utilizing the produce that lasts. Just really kind of focusing in on those veggies from Azure that we can order that we know are going to, like the carrots and potatoes and onions and all of that.
Ooh, we did end up having the ability to freeze some hash browns from some of the potatoes.
That's right. We're going to do those tonight.
We're going to try that tonight for dinner.
Yeah. Okay. Comments?
Mary says, audio's fine. Thanks, Mary.
Thanks, Mary.
Marguerite, I love your videos and your family. Thank you.
Thank you.
And your family is adorable from Sherry. Sherry, thank you.
Thank you.
And then Marguerite says, I'm ordered with Sam's Club, free shipping. Yes. Yes.
That's one of our tips is that, like, order everything. We don't go to the grocery store.
Yeah. Ever.
Unless
we have
to. We go to the grocery store and or Costco not enough to the point where our kids think that it's like a field trip.
Yeah.
When we go.
And then Jasmine says, do you grow your own berries? They'll taste better and you'll appreciate them more. We do grow our own berries, but we have not been able to get them to the point of production yet. So
I don't think our blueberry plants made it.
So we planted berry plants last year. They didn't make it. So we just got
the raspberry plants.
We got a couple of raspberries that have come back, but we have a whole new slew of berries that are going in. Part of the issue last year was not having them irrigated, and I think they just died because I wasn't watering them more regularly. So we actually excavated out a pretty large area. I got them. Whoa! Pretty large area. So we're going to mulch that. We're going to irrigate that, and we're going to have berries. And this lady says, hello, children.
Oh, it's my mom. Hi, Mom. So I have learned this whole one thing is really helpful. And last year for the garden, we had one focus, and it was the tomatoes.
And guess what?
It worked.
We had tomatoes.
And so the berries were kind of like, we're going to do this and not put a ton of effort into it. And I also kind of we didn't prioritize the irrigation. Mm-hmm. That should have been our one thing that was first before we did anything.
But guess what we did today? Got the irrigation done.
Yes.
Okay. Comments are done.
Okay. So we talked about the benefit number
1 and 2.
3. No, 3. So peace of mind, less waste, less grocery shopping. And the way that we did that less grocery shopping was utilizing produce that lasts, freezing, experimenting with it at least, and being okay with not having everything every week.
The not having bananas every week is...
And the way that we have a video on how we prep and store lettuce and basically prep all of our lettuce.
If you've not seen it,
the week you can go find it.
All right.
Win number 5.
4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
4.
Yes. Buying
more from Azure. We love Azure. We love what they stand for, and they're independently owned. I love it, and I feel like we're supporting a business that we can really stand behind. And we've shifted a lot of our groceries over to them. So we started ordering a lot more produce. Some of the things were just not 100%.
And it did take some experimenting. Yeah. Things like broccoli.
Broccoli's a tough one. Yeah.
Was not And it could have also been seasonal. We have
Seasonal.
to try that again,
Yep,
maybe.
we will. But the peppers, potatoes, onions, all those kind of more rooty, hearty vegetables have been really, really good. The cilantro has been really good. The fruit's been
I remember the avocados from like, it was like probably 8 years
a while
ago
ago.
that we tried the avocados, and they didn't
avocado very well.
They didn't work well. But I'm thinking it's been 8 years that maybe it's worth trying it again.
Possibly.
So who knows?
And then the really awesome thing is buying large quantities at a lesser expense, or even when they're on sale.
Hold on. No, you just jumped to the last benefit.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. Buying more from Azure.
I jumped down one line in. I'm so sorry. It's not edited.
You totally ruined it. Okay.
This is why I don't hold the mouse.
Maybe I need to hide the topics that we're going to talk about. Okay, so yes, the fourth was that we were able to support Azure more. The oils and vinegars, and then one of the things that we did bring up is that we don't really get a lot of our protein outside of dairy and eggs. We don't get a lot of protein from Azure because we buy a lot of that local, and that's not something that I'm really interested in
switching.
Yeah, I'm really happy with that.
We need a better chicken source.
Yes, we do. That's chicken is complicated. And then my mom says, this is what happens when you go live. And this is why I'm really happy to be at a place where it's totally okay. So the last one is saving money is our huge win for this whole food management. We have realized that when you buy in bulk from Azure, you can save a lot of money. But when you buy in bulk from Azure, when things are on sale,
you can save a lotter.
Like I'm thinking like on average about 25%, which is huge easily. When you're talking about food.
Yeah.
Especially when you're talking about food
in this market.
In this like organic, natural, healthy, real food market. I'm used to that kind of stuff doesn't really go on sale.
People usually use coupons and they say, I saved $400, and it's all prepackaged and or cereals and things like that, which we're not saying that that's necessarily bad. We just don't eat a lot of that stuff. We have had a few requests for cereal recently, and
no.
Soon we'll do cereals.
Oatmeal will work.
I want oatmeal. So that, I mean, in the big picture, I don't want to discount, but being able to utilize a very clear menu, being able to utilize a good inventory, and having good sourcing options available and capitalizing on that, I think has been huge.
Yeah. So, and I think it's going to be really interesting to see. I'm excited to look at our April grocery spending versus our May grocery spending, because even though we're still stocking up on food, I believe that it's going to be significantly lower because
you guys don't need to eat
dinner that we've made. And I mean, that includes crazy things like buying 4 gallons of maple syrup. And we just got, Azure had the balsamic vinaigrette, or the Grand Reserve balsamic vinaigrette. So we got a case of that on sale, and it was like $7 a bottle when it's normally like 10 plus
11. Yeah.
So being able to really just kind of dive in on those sales when they happen and get them in large quantities has been awesome. So moving forward, we've got a couple weeks left in the month of May, and I think we're going to kind of hang out here for those couple more weeks. We're going to kind of focus on using the grocery calculator that I've used a grocery calculator for a long time, off and on, but we kind of totally revamped it, and I'm excited about being able to utilize that and not only have a just crystal clear understanding of where we are at with our food supply goals, but also being able to move forward easier. It's got a bunch of features where like we can sort by location in the house, sort by store, build a grocery shopping, like a default list and all of that. And so just kind of honing in on more of those time factors, saving just a little bit more time in this process so that next month we can dive into meal planning, which I am super excited about. I also told the kids that we could do like a little offshoot on experimenting with kombucha and water kefir flavorings.
Maybe
like,
just a little bit.
Meal plan, right?
Yeah,
Kombucha
totally.
and water kefir flavorings fits in there well.
Awesome.
What do we have here? You want to do this?
Love you guys. You've inspired me to move more of our grocery budget to Azure. The quality is amazing. And we love having bulk items. We're shopping less often and saving money.
That is so inspiring. I thank you so much for sharing that. That's why we're here.
Rock and roll.
Oh, and we have a new subscriber, A Quiet and Ordinary Life. Welcome. You know what? I want to say, I love doing this YouTube channel. I think that it's so much fun. We didn't want to do this.
Nope. We waited about 10 years before we jumped right in. No, we didn't even jump in. We kind of stepped out.
It took us like 5 years to yeah.
So yeah, you look like you were on a roll.
I'm excited. I'm excited for the opportunity to be here. I'm excited that it's working and that y'all are inspired and changing your lives. And that's really what matters. So my mom says we're doing great.
She's slightly biased.
Mom.
She says that now before she sees the West Wing.
So
Okay. Yes, it is easy to flavor kombucha. We've done ginger flavored kombucha.
Yes.
And our son said that he was going to do some strawberry, kefir, and something else. But yeah.
Well, Harvard did some was it strawberry lemon or
strawberry lemon? Yeah.
Yeah, that was really good. So I just want to dive into a variety of options.
Hello from Oregon. Hello from Colorado.
So
ginger's amazing.
I want to, we're a little obsessed. I'm obsessed with the ginger juice from Ginger People, I think is the brand from Azure.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. It's amazing.
We have 7 children, Sherry.
Yes.
And they're hiding in the closet.
They're outside setting up the pool.
Yep.
Filling the pool, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, probably filming that, and they're doing a time lapse in that. So that's kind of fun.
Yeah. So I want to just kind of take a second to reflect back on the fact that it was April 2nd. I think it's like April 2nd. We decided to focus on this one thing. And it was not easy. Lots of distractions. Lots of things that we were like, oh, we should do this, or oh, we should do that. And I feel like we did a pretty good job staying on track.
Yeah.
At the end of this month, it will have only been 2 months.
And that's huge, because
when you're in it,
it's just like
feels like the longest thing ever.
Yes.
But when you actually are able to look back, I mean, 2 months is not that long. And we have a lot of amazing results just from that. So where I know that if we were focusing on organizing the house and getting out and experiencing stuff in our town
Mm-hmm.
and diving deep into some home, like other than like regular homeschool topics.
Mm-hmm.
And
chickens,
working on my
pigs.
health or getting chickens or starting seeds. We opted to just order starts, which was
painful,
very painful. We're never going to do that again. Starting seeds is going to be our one thing next year.
Well, it's going to be our one thing in February.
Yes. But it's been so rewarding. And I believe the reason why it's rewarding is because we actually gave it our focus, as opposed to dividing our efforts across a dozen different things, and they only get this much, and then you get nowhere. So, one thing for the win.
Heck yeah. Good job.
So, the only thing that I am going to kind of put a little bit of a twist on is that for the month of June, I think that I am going to set a few like secondary goals. I think that one of them always needs to take precedent over everything else, but I think I'm going to probably do one per life quadrant, and maybe we'll share that
in a live
or something.
Explain what that is. The life quadrants.
So
cool.
So yeah, so that's kind of what we've been doing with our channel, is we're trying to kind of stay focused on our story with what we're focusing on as a family. Right now that's food, and it's going to be food for probably another 3 to 4 to 6 to 8 months, however long it takes. I'm hoping to get these down to like a month time frame, but we'll see.
I bet you if we look forward 4 months from now and look back, we will have said, because we had the momentum build up, it'll go a lot quicker.
It'll go quicker. Yeah.
So, and
do you want to?
Yeah, we'll circle back. I think I said we have 7 kids. Yes, that's awesome. So I live in Nebraska and experimented about 10 years ago with various flavors, but just stick to the plain. I'm a pretty plain,
So that's the thing. I love our kombucha.
It's got a pretty good zing.
It's so good.
Yep.
And so that's...
We high five. Big families are awesome.
We agree.
Yes. It says we try to add at least one big new thing each year, but my youngest does about 500 big things a year. Yes. We started 20 years ago, still in the city. We started 20 in this. I'm not sure what that last part means. We started 20 years ago. We started 20 or so years ago while still in the city.
Okay. Got it. Yes. And that's the way to do it, is to just kind of
simple.
Yes.
Easy.
Simple steps. And we know what happens when you take on too much.
We like simple steps.
We'll share that story one of these days too.
Cool. Do you want to do another recap, or are we good? Like, do you want to do a quick bullet point, boom, boom, boom?
Yeah. So do you want to do it, or you want me to?
Oh yeah, we'll do this sports announcing style. Totally kidding. Okay. Month and a half ago, we started focusing in on one thing for our family, and it was food management. The issues that we ran into were food storage and having a menu plan. We were able to solve that quickly and easily. And then benefits, we had 5 pretty significant benefits. Benefit number 1 was the peace of mind that Christy and I in the home had, knowing what we needed, what we had, what we were going to use, and the ability to use it. We wasted less than ever before. Yeah. I mean, ever. And that was huge. We did less grocery shopping, which was huge, super compounding, because we ended up saving money, time, resources. Oh my goodness, so much. And you're moving things. Hold on. We shifted a lot of our budget over to Azure, buying things in bulk, and that's been feeling really, really good. And ultimately, our biggest thing was saving money. As Christy mentioned earlier, we saved approximately 25% on certain items, kind of in general. When you're talking about whole, good, organic food, getting things on sale or getting them at a cheaper rate is really not heard of. Last thing is to firm up our inventory goals.
That's just how we're going to
kind of moving forward. Yeah. We're going to be implementing the grocery calculator a little bit more and making things easier in kind of a big picture thing. We're going to hang out.
Really systemizing things so that it's just, I don't even have to think
Yeah,
about
it's just click and
groceries.
go. And then moving forward, we're about halfway through May. Ugh. So we're going to stick here for about 2 more weeks, and then we're going to jump over into our next plan, which is meal planning, which is going to be super exciting. Christy loves the variety that she can create inside of a meal plan. And we're expecting that that's only going to take us a month or so.
Or so.
Or
Fully
so.
willing to commit 2 weeks to meal planning.
2
I
months,
like my,
not 2
yeah,
weeks.
that one. 2 months.
So
I like my variety.
And thank you all for love and support and encouragement thus far.
Yes, thank you, thank you.
So,
all right,
signing off. We'll be here.
Finish
We're gonna go finish planting, and I'm gonna solicit a couple children to go make dinner.
All right. We'll see you later. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.